prepping a big brunch for my friends and family. They're coming in from Long Island, and it was a perfect opportunity for me to try a few recipes out, get some food out there and see if it's something that's worth adding to the website. It would just be really cool for my business to get some new recipes and like, I don't know, like some visuals out there for people to remind people that I'm here if you need any bread goods. And so I'll show you what I'm working with this morning so far. So I set up my tablescape last night, and obviously it's looking pretty bare right now because there's no food on it. But I'm gonna put a bunch of cheeses, bagels, breads, butters, hot honey, have some candles lit, put a few of my cinnamon rolls in here. I think they'd look so cute. And I think it'd make everyone feel included. And I know that some of the stuff is gonna be sweet, some of the stuff is gonna be salty and savory, so I think I'll have something for everyone. And this morning, so last night, I prepped some cinnamon roll dough pretty late so that I could proof overnight. It's all sourdough, and I'm gonna take you through the process of me getting it ready because now I get to serve them. And I'm gonna do them in squares this time. I think they'd be really nice and individual, and they're visually prettier. So I'll show you how I fill my cinnamon rolls, and I'm gonna get some brunch things going, so I'll probably speed this up. Your own. And I thought it would be really cool to make my own Gravlax and sourdough bagels and do like a breakfast bar for my friends and family this weekend. So it's a good way to incorporate sourdough baking and my passion for cooking and fusion cooking. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. So this is, I got quality salmon, and we're gonna see what happens. I got the process and inspiration from this recipe, Love Japan. I'll tag them below. I got the book on Amazon, but I did some chopped whole garlic and chopped ginger, salt, a little bit of sugar, and black peppercorns, and then I just copied the ratios, added a little bit more if I wanted it extra or whatever. I put them in 2 of these little plastic containers, and then I placed plastic wrap around them, stacked them on top of each other, and then put 2 jars of salsa in the fridge on top of them to weigh them down. And then this was the next 2 days. The next thing I had to do was make sure my sourdough starter was active because I was going to start the process of making the bagels. It only takes a few hours, and then I can throw them in the freezer for the next few days. All of my exact recipe measurements will be on my website, but it's bread flour, water, and sourdough starter mixed, a little bit of honey, and some salt. I got my dough started mixing my wet ingredients together first and then adding flour, and then I was gonna let it sit for an hour to rest. After I let the dough rest, I kneaded it by hand on the counter for 10 minutes, but you could also use a stand mixer. I left my bagel dough to proof on the counter for 6 hours, and that's about the sweet spot where it doubles in size for me. I took the bagel dough out and then worked it with my hands for a minute before I shaped them into my bagels. So far, I got some cute little glassware. I want to make my coffee syrup, so I'm going to get into that right now, actually. Put on some custom syrups I'm going to make like lattes and stuff tomorrow. So again, these were each $1, and then the stickers were $1. So I'm not breaking the bank, and I'm still able to kind of get my creative side out. And then I just was kind of doing a tablescape, and I'm gonna put all of the baked goods and everything. I'm gonna arrange it tomorrow, and I also have some stuff for a charcuterie board. Okay, so the plan right now is to make some coffee syrups, but what I have so far is, put it to the side. I'm gonna try and be like editing savvy, but I did, so far I have prepped jelly donut focaccia. I have a white chocolate cranberry lemon babka. So I'm gonna cut that up, lay out some butter, maybe some honey, with a cute little honeycomb or the cute little honey spoon. So I'm gonna have some aspects of sweet I tried my hand at curing salmon, so I made my own version of Gravlax so that I can put those on my all sourdough bagels. So I have those prepped, they're in the freezer. So we've got bagels, lox. I'm gonna do like a big, like bacon, eggs, vegetables, cream cheeses, all that kind of stuff, have all my friends and family over. And the prepping was easy because I started at the beginning of the week and then was freezing things as I go so that everything stays fresh. So I'm gonna make some syrups for lattes. I have an espresso, so I'm just gonna make some like cappuccinos and foam some milk. I have some cold foam already, but it's gonna be an epic brunch. We'll see, this could all change. So yeah, I'm gonna do these and probably put some honey in here and get everything prepped. So all I have to do in the morning is bake. So yeah. I also really appreciate if you're here. I wanted to say thank you everyone who watches because it really does mean so much to me, and taking that step and like putting yourself out there can be really scary, but it's been so fun, and I want to make sure I don't neglect this aspect of like the career that I'm headed towards, or the journey that I'm not the journey. Okay. So not the journey, but the path that I'm trying to lay out for myself. I want YouTube to be a part of it, even if it's just for me. But I really do appreciate if you watch and share my videos, if you look up any of my recipes and you message me about it. Like I can't tell you how much it means to me. So just a quick cheesy little thank you. Okay, so we're kind of winging it, but I know what it's gonna be like. So I got these from the dollar store. They're already rinsed, ready to go. So we're gonna add water to a saucepan. And then usually there's a concentration of like sugar. So like light brown sugar, dark brown sugar, granulated sugar. And I have a homemade caramel already. So I'm gonna let that dissolve into the water at like a low temp because it's already concentrated sugar. And it has that toasted flavor. It'll get even more toasted now when we bring it up to heat. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of maple syrup, just kind of for maple flavor. And then some sea salt. So it'll be like a salted maple caramel, and that will be so good in a latte. And I have some cool creamers, so it'll be great. And I have family coming in from out of town who's really loud and really Italian and so fun. So I'm gonna obviously feeding them. They'll be very entertaining. Okay, got 1 cup of water, and then I'm gonna do like a half cup of the salted homemade caramel. I'm gonna put all of it, and yeah. So I finally ordered a Canon because I do want to make this like a priority, like filming my life and like me stepping into a new career. It's exciting. I just turned 30. It's like it feels like a really pivotal time in my life. So I wanted to record it, but I got the Canon PowerShot V10 because I'm not like savvy enough to get like the really legit stuff. Like I'm too amateur, and that's like a huge investment. So I got the PowerShot. If anyone has used it before, let me know how you like it or give me some tips. Because again, I'm just going in blind. But it just came in today. Ordered it on Black Friday. There was like a whole thing with FedEx. It was a whole thing. So yeah, I'm gonna start filming. I want to use that as an obligation to be filming more and to keep creating recipes because I feel so great, and it's so fun at the beginning of the day to look forward to like a time where you get to be creative. If you didn't know, a little thing about me is I hacked my life so hard. I got my sister in the house next door living with my best friend, and they come down for dinner 5 nights a week, and they send me grocery money, and I grocery shop for me, my husband, and them. And I create all of our meals, send them home with leftovers, and the whole 9. And it sounds like very selfless on my part. I assure you it's not. I get to be the boss, which is my favorite thing to do. I get to be the boss of the entire creative menu. So anything that I'm craving, we eat. They can suggest things, and I definitely take their suggestions into account and their allergies and stuff. But like they're amazing in the sense where they do not complain. They don't even ask what's for dinner. They just come over. And so I get to explore, and sometimes a meal doesn't work out. So we end up scrapping the idea, but when it does, they've helped me come up with so many recipes with their input and like with our reviews and like what we think that we want in rotation. So it's the best. I'm telling you, if you guys have like friends, this is the way to do it. It's so cheap. Like it's so cheap to throw, like we have a Costco membership and I do all the shopping. And if you are not a cook, but one of your friends is, like, let's start doing this. This feels like a hack, so I have to share it. I'll attach everything as we go, but so far I've done about a 1/4 cup of pure maple sugar, 1/2 cup of salted caramel, and a cup of water. I'm just gonna let this simmer together. I have maple extract, so I'm gonna get that and throw it in. Cute little maple extract. Oh my God, it smells amazing. I'm gonna be very sparing. So, about a teaspoon. Okay, so I had that sit on low for 10 minutes and then just moved it off the heat for another 10 minutes. And then it ended up being 1 cup of water, about a 1/2 cup of homemade salted caramel. You can probably use store-bought caramel. And then 1/4 cup of maple syrup, about a teaspoon of maple extract, and then a teaspoon of salt. Let that all simmer together. And then, so I will say the thing about caramel and making a caramel infused sugar is there is butter in caramel and there is fat in caramel. So I have this I have this fat separator. I got it on Amazon for like 15 bucks, and it takes off the layer of oil so that these are just purely sugar and water, because we do not want fat to settle at the top of our oil in our coffee latte syrups. So, and then the last thing I'm gonna do is, I love the Asian grocery store because I get all my spices there. They have spices for everything in bulk. So I got cinnamon sticks, and I'm gonna let them deepen the color overnight while it's still warm. So it'll be so cinnamony and so sweet. And so this is what they're looking like. They're gonna look much darker tomorrow. I'm gonna fill this with hot honey. So I have my homemade hot honey just sitting on the counter. I just used it. So I'm gonna transfer it to something a little bit better looking. Also, so frustrating. I set my boomer ass into the world and tried to learn how to TikTok. And now if you live in the US, you know that we're getting a TikTok ban. So all that effort, all that editing for naught. But that's why I am excited that I also made YouTube a priority, because long form content is never gonna go out of style. It's so classic. It's how you get to know people intimately. And so I'm glad that I went that route too. And to be honest, like, I get a lot of my news from TikTok, but I don't think that I'm going to miss it that much. Maybe it's like the stage in my life that I'm in, but like, I think it'll be okay for me and good for me probably. But I'm still pissed about it because I don't like more of my rights taken away. So that's just kind of a buzzkill. All right, so I warmed up the honey to make it easier to pour into, and again, I pre-cleaned these. These are from the dollar store, so I'm gonna pour all of that in. And gonna let it sit on the counter till we're ready to use it tomorrow. I think they're gonna be really, really good on the everything bagels that I made. Like a spicy bacon sandwich. That, how can you really go wrong? Like spicy. And so much of this stuff you can do way ahead of time so that if you wanted to get, like, say you have kids and your friends, I don't, but say you and your friends have kids, an easier time to get together is in the beginning of the day. Like, get their energy out, hang out with your friends who have kids. It's a great way, host a breakfast. That way kids can eat, play, you can, I'm not saying you get to sit down, because you and I both know you're not gonna get to, but I think it'd be a great way to keep your friends with kids in your social life, because breakfast, the kids are already awake. So food for thought. This is, I'm gonna probably make this into my first ever menu on my site. So I'm pretty excited about that. If you ever wanna copy the brunch, I'm gonna link all the recipes. I'm gonna attach everything that you need and make it clickable. So I'm speaking it into existence. So so far we've got our sweeteners for our coffee and our lattes and the honey. I'm gonna put these in the fridge and I'm gonna let this sit on the counter overnight and make the cute little labels. I have been curing salmon for 3 days and I'm gonna attach the recipe here. I'll attach the recipe in the description box below. It was inspired by a cookbook that I love called Love Japan. One of the authors is from New York as well, and he grew up Jewish eating lox, and that's my favorite bagel that there is. I love a bagel with lox and cream cheese. So I made my own, and it's been curing in the fridge for 3 days with dill, garlic, a little bit of ginger, brown sugar, salt, and I've been checking it every single day, and today it's finally ready. So I'm gonna cut it up, taste it, and we'll see the process. And then I kind of did my spin on it. So I know that you have to rinse off the brine. So I'm gonna rinse off everything, and I might save some of the dill because I've read that you're not supposed to get rid of the dill. You're supposed to chop it up and serve it, but I might serve it with fresh tomorrow. So I think I am just gonna rinse it off. If that is sacrilegious, I'm sorry. This is my first time though. Yeah, definitely the texture feels, it's much firmer. So the texture changed completely, which is how I know that it worked. And I mean, it is stunning. Absolutely stunning. So that's what it looks like before I fillet it. All right, so I kept mine skin on because I figured it would be the easiest afterwards. I heard it keeps it together better. So I'm gonna slice against it. I'm not gonna cut the skin off. And I'm gonna make really, really thin slices. Thin. Oh my God, we did not need the dill. The dill is present. Oh my God, it's delicious. I'm gonna slice it even thinner. And what's really cool about this is you can use it on like a bagel board or a bagel breakfast, or you can use it in like a sushi board or making like salmon crispy rice. And it's a great way to have like your raw fish craving at home because it's not sushi grade, but after curing, you can eat it technically raw. But I mean, it's been curing for 3 days. So all the refrigeration and the salt kills the bacteria. So I am cutting them just to the thickness that I desire. Traditionally, they're like super, super thin. So, like so. I'm just gonna speed this up while I slice.
the next day.
Prettier. So I'll show you how I film my cinnamon rolls, and I'm gonna get some brunch things going, so I'll probably speed this up. Okay, I am literally gonna get everything down to the wire. Like, I won't even have my dishes done by the time I get here because I always overshoot, but that's okay because the tablescape looks amazing and all the food and everything will be done. If I've got dishes in the sink, I think I'll live. I'm gonna plate my cured salmon now. I'm so excited. I got these little tongs from my mother-in-law, and now I have to find them. But what I do have is I prepped a bunch of really finely chopped shallots, and I'm gonna have that to the side so that we can make our lox bagels. And I have a cute little tree. It's still winter. I'm gonna plate everything up. And again, I'm gonna speed this up. All right, I'm gonna get my cinnamon roll dough going. And again, I'm doing this like, it's not like I'm rushing. I woke up at like 8:30 and I'm gonna get most of my stuff done, like clean the house a little bit. And I'm gonna get most of this stuff done in about an hour, hour and a half. And at my leisurely pace. So again, it might be different if you have kids or you have like I don't know, really kids are just the only holdup in my brain. And I'm a nanny, I can say that. I love them, but I'm like, how do you people get anything done? So I'm just like having a fun time because my time is mine right now. So this is the dough. On my website, I always say like roll out into like a 12 by 16 rectangle because that's pretty standard. But you will never catch me out here with a ruler. I am guesstimating. And also, like, I'm a home cook, so I'm not the queen of clean edges. Like, when I say rectangle, it should be. And if you want to make it a rectangle, that's like the recommended shape. But mine are really polygons because they're just a shape of my own creation, and they're different every time. Got my softened butter. I do 5 tablespoons. Okay, that's what we're working with for our cinnamon rolls. And I'm gonna roll them, individually cut them, and put them into a square plate or square pan. So I think that'd be really great. Off the ends and the excess. That way we get just like the clean middle. Our hands, we seal everything together. That's what my cinnamon rolls are looking like. I also took my homemade bagels out of the freezer. I'm gonna let them sit out on the counter for like an hour, and then I'm gonna slowly heat up a bunch of them before my guests come over. The family is obviously late, so this is a little brunch fit, and they have some things to do today, so I figured I'd show you. I'm going for like a baggy effect today, so if anybody cares. But I love fashion just as much as I love cooking. So this is what I'm wearing. I love it. Also, as predicted, the family's running late, which is the best because I apparently am genetically not good at time management either, and I'm a little behind. So it's perfect because we're all in the same boat. And I never thought I'd be grateful for my family always being late, but here I am. And I'm just as bad. Okay. I'm gonna let this drip for a little bit. before I plate it. This is what they're looking like. Some brioche babka, eggs and Gravlax, extra savory stuff, and that is the entire brunch. I did some coffee syrups, and it's like an at-home cafe. I think it'd be really fun for people, like just a great excuse to host, get all your friends and family in the same place, and breakfast is such a great time of day to gather because the rest of the day gets so crazy. So that's a little tablescape. I'll show you when the crazy Italian family gets here, film a little bit of background banter. And yeah, I hope that you use some of these recipes and you like the video. Please share it. Get some brunch girls together and try a few of the recipes. I think you're gonna really like it. So thanks for watching along.
Hello!
The fam's arrived.
Yeah.
Of course, 30 minutes late.
No, of course. Where's Melissa?
Late. Duh.
No, here.
No one's here. Hi. She goes, are you talking to yourself?
Post up.
Post it. Oh, the fam. Hi. Oh, that's a groom girl. Party's here. Mom, how is it?
It's really
It just came out of the oven.
I'm with me too, so we'll behind me.
I'm not taking this from you.
No, I know. What are you having?
I'm gonna make a bacon, egg, and cheese with scallion cream cheese,
I
baby.
took a lot of pictures, so
And I'm gonna have as much food as I possibly
what?
can.
And I know that's right.
Ben, this reminds me of the spread in Italy when you got the.
Oh my